Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Avery, and this is a subcategory where mixed guy makes mixed food. I was born and raised in Malaysia with a little bit of Dutch in me, and I live in England. So the idea is that we're going to try and mix different kinds of foods from different places, and I'm just a little curious. Well, come with me on this journey because I have never made this before, and to see how it tastes like. So let's get started. This dessert was inspired by our home. On today's project, we're going to make the humble crumble. Usually crumbles are made with apples, but I thought, you can have an apple crumble anytime. Why not try and make something spring, summer-like? So I thought, why not make it with strawberries? I've never had a strawberry crumble. So today, I'm going to make a strawberry crumble, but with a little twist. I'm going to try and make it as Malaysian inspired. Judging by how I'll try and make it Malaysian, our national flower, the bunga raya, that's a hibiscus. I'll take the hibiscus and make it a strawberry hibiscus crumble. A, I've never tried it, and B, I want to see if it works. Now, that's just half of the project. There is a famous drink that we have in Malaysia. Now's the best time to actually get it because it's the Ramadan season. It's called Bandung. It's made with rose. So I'm going to make a rose ice cream or a Bandung ice cream. And to just spice things up a little bit more, it's going to be a white chocolate Bandung ice cream. So let's try to say the whole thing that we're going to make today. I'm going to make a strawberry hibiscus crumble with a white chocolate Bandung ice cream. Let's try it out. You'll need an apron for this project. Bring out a stand mixer. Measure out 148 grams of egg yolks. Save the egg whites for something else, like an egg white omelette or meringues later on. You can freeze the egg whites in a Ziploc bag and store in the freezer for up to 3 months. Use a whisk attachment. We want to incorporate a lot of air into the egg yolks and make it light and fluffy. Next, you'll need a small pot. In it goes 65 grams of water first and 120 grams of sugar. Place the pot onto the stove and switch the heat to medium to high. Try not to stir the pot. We put the water in first so that the sugar doesn't clump to the bottom. I have a probe thermometer. If you do not have one, I highly recommend you getting one for this project or other future projects. It is good to have in your kitchen drawer. We want the sugar syrup to boil till it gets to a temperature of about 116 degrees Celsius. Place a cup of water on the side. This is for the thermometer later on. Once it reaches around 110 degrees Celsius, pay close attention. Do not walk away because getting to 116 will be pretty fast and you want to be ready. Almost there. Be ready. We're at 116 degrees Celsius. Take it off the heat and let the bubbles stop forming. Swirling the pot around helps distribute the heat and to calm the cooking process. Take it and pour it on the side of the mixing bowl. We are making a thing called pata bomb. Hopefully I said it right for all you French people out there. It is like making Italian meringues but with egg yolks instead of egg whites. Let it go for a couple of minutes. Next, while that is happening, we can grate some white chocolate. We need 50 grams. Watch out for those fingers. If it gets to a point where the pieces you are grating becomes too small, just do what I do. Eat it. Keep it on standby. After that, measure out 40 grams of rose water. The rose water I'm using is clear, not exactly a Bandung color, but we are getting there. Keep that aside for now. Pour in the white chocolate. The heat from the syrup mixing with the egg yolks will be enough to melt the white chocolate. Pour in the rose syrup. Next, measure out in a large mixing bowl 560 grams of double cream. Whisk it up. No need to rush it. The egg yolks still have some time. We want the cream to be medium stiff peaks, where you're able to grab the cream in your whisk and hold it up. Next, the coloring bit. I'm using liquid red coloring. I prefer liquid than powder because it dissolves better in this kind of project. Time to add in the color to the whisking egg yolks. Be careful not to add too much. We are looking for a nice, soft, neon fluorescent pink. Here I used about 12 drops. Take the bowl and use the whisk to scrape the bottom, in case there are unmixed ingredients. Check the color. That looks like a good color. Put it back on and whisk some more, till it cools down. When the sides of the mixing bowl becomes cool to touch, then you'll know it's ready. Have a taste. It tastes like bandung right now, but we haven't added it to the cream yet. Things may change. Mix it in 2 stages, half and half. Now, the rest in. Scrape everything. Spin the bowl if you have to get a nice mix going. Taste again. I felt that it needed more rose syrup, about 60 grams more, because the flavor was lost when we mixed it in with the cream. Mix it generously to disperse the rose essence. Taste again. I'm happy with it now. It definitely has that rich Bandung flavor in it. Pour it in a large tray or baking dish to be stored in the freezer. Oh yeah, that looks like a smooth pink goodness. All set for the freezer. Let it freeze for at least 2 hours. Plenty of time in between to make the other components. Now, you'll need that stand mixer again. Onto the crumble part. Measure in the mixing bowl 100 grams of plain flour, 2 pinches of table salt, 120 grams of cubed cold butter. Use a paddle attachment on low speed. We don't want to cream it. In a separate small bowl, measure out 70 grams of porridge oats. We will be using 2 types of sugars. 50 grams of Demerara sugar for a nice bite crunch, and 100 grams of light brown sugar for that nice rich caramel flavor. Once the butter and flour mixture has come together, you can pour in the oats and sugar mixture. Make sure to clean the paddle midway. Here I'm using a perforated baking tray for better baking circulation, and I'm using a baking mat that goes with it. I formed my crumble into a ball for the next step. I'm using a large hold strainer as a grater to get tiny little crumble pieces for an even bake. Grate an even layer around the baking mat. Now this is ready for the oven. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 13 to 15 minutes or until golden brown at the edges. While that is baking, grate the rest of the crumble mix onto another baking mat and keep aside for when the tray is ready. That smells amazing. If only you could smell that. Keep that aside by pulling the mat off the baking tray and replacing it with the other one that is ready to be baked off. Mix around the crumble on the table to evenly cool and distribute the heat. Set aside. Now, onto the strawberry filling. You will need a silicone mat for the cutting board to keep it stable. Yes, I even have an orange knife. Cut the strawberries and have a taste. Depending on the taste, if it's too sour, we can always add a little more sugar. Cut the strawberries into quarters, or if they are too small, into halves. Measure the weight of the strawberries. I got 670 grams. So we're going to measure 10% of sugar, which was 67 grams, and also 10% of corn flour, 67 grams. Give that a little mix. Pour it over the strawberries and mix well. You will need a large pot. Pour it in, turn the heat to medium-high. Stay there and stir with a wooden spoon or spatula. You don't want the bottom to burn. Cook it out for at least 5 minutes. The strawberries will start to release some of its strawberry juicy goodness. Once cooked, place in a bowl and let cool on the side. There are still some large pieces intact, which is what we want. To complement the strawberries, I'm using hibiscus syrup from a French company called Monin. Have a little taste. Well, that was a powerful kick on its own. But that's how Malaysia tastes like. Pour in 60 grams of syrup, fold it gently, and have another taste. I felt that it just needed a little bit more, so I added another 30 grams. Wow, that was sexy. Once the crumble has cooled completely, take a Ziploc bag and fill it with the crumble. We are going to smash it to little bite-sized bits. Time to assemble. Set your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Fill a small dish or ramekin about halfway and fill the rest with the crumble. Give it some space from the top because while it bakes in the oven, sometimes it can bubble over. Place it on a tray and into the oven for about 7 minutes. Next, be ready with an ice cream scoop or spoon. I'm boiling some hot water for my ice cream scoop to make it easier during the scooping process. Let's see if the English person likes it. I, for one, am excited to try the combination of warm strawberry hibiscus at the bottom, crumble, and Bandung ice cream. B-A-N-D-U-N-G, Bandung. I'm also trying to teach Jess how to speak a little bit of Malay. Let's try and scoop this out. This will be the first. Hopefully it goes well. I think it will, because we got a little bit of floral notes in there. Warm and cold at the same time. Yeah, let's try and dig in. Ugh. It's hot.
It's hot, yeah.
It's very hot, it's very hot. Maybe if you wait 1 or 2 more minutes, it'll be amazing.
This is delicious.
So it's a winner. The English approves. Jess approves for something we have never tried before, something I have never tried before. You can't really go wrong with strawberries and crumble, or strawberry crumble. This is a hybrid. This is a mix between English and Malaysian. With every little bite, you discover a little bit something more. And the fact that there are big pieces of strawberries and small pieces of strawberries, it gives you a combination of, so it's not totally mushy. You know, there's at least a bit of bite. You know, the crumble itself is crispy. It's not soggy. I would say this is a summer dish. Well, that was a success. Jess enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. So we've learned today that the combination of hibiscus strawberry crumble, that works with the combination of rose, white chocolate, ice cream. I think I like to break it down as to why it is, in my opinion, with Jess's, it is 4 dimensions of a dessert. Because you have the smooth, light richness of the rose and white chocolate ice cream, combined with the crunchy, non-too fatty, buttery crumble, mixed with the hibiscus floral strawberry filling, and that's 3 dimensions, plus the 4th dimension of it being hot and cold, ice cream and warm crumble mixed together. I guess a floral party in your mouth. Yeah. That's why I think it's 4 dimensions of a dessert. If you ever want to taste how Malaysia is, with a little bit of inspiration, try this dessert out. I think it's definitely worth making. Doesn't take too long, maybe a couple of hours. The longest part is just waiting for the ice cream to set after you've made that. The rest is pretty simple, pretty fast. You can make that in advance. And good thing for us, we have plenty left over. If you like what you saw, please leave a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe, because there'll be more coming. See you next time. And remember, always try and stay curious, because you never know what you might get, or it might work. And I was born in Malaysia. Halo dan selamat datang ke channel saya. Nama saya Avery dan kita akan membuat sesuatu yang mungkin sedap ini hari. Jom, kita akan bermula sekarang. Little Malaysia boleh.